So it's a beautiful world, this road to progress, this destiny of progress. And it's never been defined to the public exactly where you're going, and that's not by chance. Although it is told to you legally through movies and novels, and even songs, because that's called predictive programming, because legally they must tell you what they're doing. And they do all the time in the movies and novels and music. Plato described the whole technique. Today we call it a form of indoctrination, predictive programming, which means that through fiction, or through when you think you're enjoying yourself, through being entertained undercover, and to entertain comes from tin, the cover. When you're under the cover, your sensor part of your mind is not working. And when it's not working, you're unaware that you're being downloaded like a computer. And so all the little emotional techniques that you use, and you're identifying with the hero or the female with the heroine, and there's people in between these days, and all that kind of stuff. Once you start identifying with the characters, they've got you, because they can take you anywhere, no matter what that character does, because as long as you identify this much with them, they can take you that much into where they want you to go emotionally. And so when the real things start to happen in your own life, you say, well, this is kind of familiar to me. And you don't object to it. Because you're thinking, well, I guess it's the only way we could go in society in this particular area. I guess it's a natural evolution. But no, your mind was prepared, because these guys are the shepherds, you know. They have another bunch of slaves and scientists that work for them, who do this mind control business, and they farm us to an extent. They first of all, they know what they want to grow in this field, what kind of crop they want to grow, and how high, and how many. And they first prepare the land, you know. They cut the brush, they plough it, they harrow it, they do all the necessary groundwork, and then they sow the seed and watch it grow, you see, and cultivate it. Well, that's what they do with your mind in preparation for every event that will happen in your life, every major event in your life. You've seen it all through movies, especially in this day and age, and in the last century it was primarily, well, in the 20th century, it was primarily novels and stage plays and music halls, etc. But today it's in everybody's TV, the one-eyed set, the Lie of Lucifer, or Ra, you know, the Tell Levi Zion. And they program it right into you through entertainment, and then you see it happening in real life, and you think, well, I guess that's okay, it's sort of natural, isn't it? And you don't think any more beyond that. Where did that idea come from in the first place? It's marketed to you through entertainment. And that's the prime reason for entertainment. It's not for you to sit and have music while you chew the grass like good little sheep. It's to program you. And that's why you have to have big bucks to get in to the entertainment industry. Big bucks. And you must be qualified to be being a very high degree Mason who knows the score, as they say. Because they can't let any Joe Blow come in. Plato said that thousands of years ago. Culture is created from the top and put down to the people. We're taught it comes from the grassroots, you see, and just sort of withers or blossoms or like weeds, it grows, and it doesn't, because they can't allow anything to come from the grassroots. Because it's not in their plan. You can never tell the unforetold consequences the most simplest, seemingly innocent thing could possibly do, the rippling effects, and what it would affect, and so on. So everything comes from the top down in this culture creation business. And it's always been that way in civilization. What normalcy was, we haven't a clue. Prior to the incoming of these characters with their system, their ancient system of money, chronology, priesthoods, and merchandising and rulerships. Ruler, of course, comes from the ruler that you use in school, a ruler. Everything is Masonic terminology. Cain is the same thing too. He's a priest, but he's also a builder. Cain was the first artificer, the first scientist who made things with metals and so on, weaponry. And you have a ruler. A cane is also a ruler. They used to use the canes, the bulrushes, to make rulers in ancient Middle East. So they rule us, and they measure us, you see. And a good ruler weighs you in the balance, as I say. And if you're found wanting, he won't have you around because he wants efficiency. And that's where we're going today, with pure efficiency. School to work. School to work. Now, when you listen to the elite talking, if you ever mix amongst them, you'll hear them discuss this kind of stuff quite freely. Oh, the people need us, the masses, the peasants, the profane, they need us. It's like saying that the mice in the field need that hawk. That's how they rationalize this nonsense. They can never look at themselves honestly because good psychopaths cannot. They run on ego, super ego. That's why they're psychopaths. And they get their way regardless of the consequences to anyone around them because they have no empathy for others. Now they can work together as long as they're working towards a common goal and they're all sharing the loot. But the time obviously comes when good psychopaths have to turn on each other, and it will eventually come one day. It comes into sight. And each one wants his name chiseled in stone, as they always do, these guys. A statue and his name chiseled in stone is the first king of the whole entire planet.
He's got a heart of stone. You best leave her alone.
And they're all chomping at the bit to get it. So the cooperation won't last forever. That doesn't help the masses, of course, because in the meantime, they are being called off. Population control councils were held by Britain under Thomas Malthus in the 1700s. And they discussed methods of culling off the excess people through disease or creating housing schemes, basically, on swamplands and unhealthy areas. The stuff that we did to the American Indians, in other words, put them in areas where they can't eat very well, and the climate isn't the best, and it's swampy, full of mosquitoes, whatever, and plagues break out, and they even had it worked out under Malthus that the poor houses that they created, where they threw you in when you were broke, you see, or you owed money for your rent, as most folk did. They rented in Britain, for instance, and Europe. And if you didn't have money, they'd throw you in a debtor's prison, which cost you money, by the way. That was added to what you owed. And then they kicked you out into the poorhouse, where you were forced to work till you died. And you didn't last long in the poorhouse. Most women and children lasted 6 months at the most. And this was called a more efficient way of disposing of the poor unfortunates, as they call them. This is the real history, which isn't hidden if you want to find it. It's not a nice drama, like a docudrama like TV or Anne of Green Gables. All the rubbish that they feed you, because people get most of their history today through romantic novels and stuff like that. There was nothing romantic about the 1700s, the 1800s, or the 1900s. For most people, it was a horror show. And that horror show has been slightly alleviated at the moment because the biggest change of all is coming into view, the completion of the great work, the one that started 4,500 BC sort of stuff, where they see themselves running the world in a scientific manner. The natural order, where the stupid ones simply won't exist, as they're too stupid, and there'll be no free thought or free opinion, and we see it all today.